Alrighty, boys. Who do we got for the Alliance? We gotta get Binders backheaded as the leader of the group. We gotta get Cinderella in a dress. Ooh, look at that dress. We got Garber. Cinderella has the shoulders. Kren. Cinderella has the shoulders. Garber back. OP Sap. Come. What the fuck is yo? Thank God you're transmogging right now, cause that helmet and those. And then we got Wilfred. Wilfried. For some reason, the name and the crown on your bald head and your Mog fits. I don't know why. We got Seawark for the Horde side as a Mage. Devastate coming back as a Paladin. Drain Life going up as what looks like a Industrial Warlock, I want to say. We got Shuru going up first as an Outlaw, and top damage is a Frost DK. Who's going to be Shuru versus Binus. Binus does know how Outlaw Rogues play. He's going to get Shuru out. Not going to like stood in place for a second. Gonna be a stun out of Shuru. I think Binus was expecting a stun lock combo out of the Rogue, honestly. That's why he's saying we're just off the keyboard. He's gonna try to get away from the Rogue. It's gonna be Parry coming in by the Rogue right now. Binus is gonna be able to get a little bit of heal. Shuru's gonna take a bit of damage. Binus is gonna bail away from the parry. Does Shuru have disarm? That might be very much necessary against all these Fury Warriors that just heal gods, man. Stun coming out to Binus. Gonna set it for a little bit longer. Gonna get a disarm to Shuru. Playing his own disarm. Tricky coming in for Shuru right now. Won't have a way to deal with Binus anymore. Binus trying to get a charge heal. It is gonna land one. Could go for a big old stun at Shuru into an execute. Gouge coming out. Malada Trinket onto Shuru as Blind comes in. No Trinket available anymore. Binus Trinket out a little bit too early. Shuru forced out a Trinket out of Binus. Is gonna be able to sap him. He used to go for a massive reheal if he wants to win this duel. Binus still hasn't burned any of his defensives yet. Does have disarm, so it's going to make it that much harder for Shuru to go for some damage. If Binus can disarm him on damage. But Shuru is still going to be able to get the stuns and pistol shots at least. So kiting and CC is still going to be a possibility. Sap comes in. Binus gets out of it with an enraged regen. Charges at Shuru with a stun. Gonna go for some damage. Try to land that massive execute. Vanish cheap shot coming out for Shuru. Gets us low into Binus. Another stun. His health is in a really bad spot. That could get executed. And execute is going to land a kill on him. But it's going to try to go from Devastate. Devastate being a Paladin is going to have a much easier time versus a Warrior. No Trinket available for Binus either. Devastate is just trying to build up his resources right now. Reflect coming in for Binus. Devastate is going to get a Shield of Vengeance up and running right now. But he's going to leap out of there. Just going to yeet out of there. He's going to be putting himself in a bad spot. Stuck coming into Devastate. Trinket's out of it. Hodge coming into Binus. That's going to be Wings. Binus is actually going to go for a defensive right now with Enraged Regen. And Devastate wants to bail out of it before Binus can land a heal. And Binus is going to try to line up. Not going to be able to Devastate. Force out a heal out of Binus. Next Hodge, he'll have him still has Wings for a little bit longer. As a Fury comes out, Binus is going to be able to at least get a charge heal off of it. Could go for a disarm. Does land a disarmer to Devastate. But he still have a couple judgments to throw at Binus though. The Warrior is still pressuring Devastate. Reflect coming out. No Hodge available. Devastate is forced to go for self heals. Could get a Hodge onto Binus. Bob coming out as the Stormbolt was about to land on him. He wants to end Binus right now as Commanding Shout is up. Binus has no way to deal with this Warrior, with this Paladin right now. Maledict with a Hodge, and that's going to be it. With a final ability, that's down he goes. Devastate is not able to bobble for a while, actually. Is he going to die to the Rogue? No bubble available. Forbearance is going to lock him out. OP Sap is going to be able to get himself one last hit as... Is it Subtlety? No, he's not Subtlety. What's your Mog? You got like all the different pieces from every... Not every expansion, but you kind of see what you mean. Like, you got at least the shoulders and... The shoulders and the chest don't match. You got like 3 pieces... 3 sets together, and a cloak from BC. It's going to be Drain Life going up, getting hit with like a road. Could go for a setup onto OP Sap. He's going to get him in a horror effect off the bat. Into a Fear to Fall. He's going to get lined though. He's going to Trinket out of it early. No more Trinket for OP Sap anymore. Still holding on to Cloak and Vanish. But you're going to be all powerful utilities for him. Didn't want to take that Chaos Bolt damage out of Drain Life. Does Drain even roll a pet? It looks like he doesn't even have a pet. It looks like he's just a solo Warlock, man. Gonna get hit with a full kidney. Not gonna trick it out of it. No Trinket Fear coming out. Is not gonna get a kick out of OP. Gonna actually do some damage to OP right afterwards with an Immolate to Fall. Trying to get a Chaos Bolt up and running with Wall. OP is just gonna have to take the damage. No gonna Vanish. This way Drain Life doesn't need to be rolling with a pet. A stun coming out on him right afterwards. Wait, there is a pet. It's like invisible. That pet is invisible. Like I don't see it. But it's there. Because it just got a thing. Horror effect coming in onto OP with a Chaos Bolt to follow as an Immolate Infernal is killing him. Gonna be Cloak of Shadows for OP, trying to live through that. It's gonna be Maledict onto OP right now. Actually, that cloak covered him onto that melee though, and looks like Drain Life is not doing all that great right now on health. Trying to get a last chaos bolt rolling. That's gonna be Interrupt, and OP Sap takes out Drain Life right now. Where was his pet? I didn't see one. That's gonna be top damage getting, and it's a Frost Deacon trying to get a dot onto OP Sap. I don't think he was able to get one. OP Sap is gonna go for a heal. Top damage still can make this happen without any high dampening. I really want to see this guy play, dude. Doesn't have any ways to break out of the sap right now. I don't think Lichborn even gets him out of this either, does it? There's going to be an opener by OP Sap onto top damage. Gonna go for a pre-feint on the bat. Is going to be a stun. Top damage is going to break out of it. Gonna get a Lichborn rolling onto OP Sap right now. Nope, he's gonna go for evasion. Void Elf Racial coming out. Type damage is slowly gonna make his way over. Gripping down the road. Kidney Shot coming down. No way to get out of it. Lichborn. Gonna be a short stun though. OP is gonna hit it with a full stun lock combo. This way, top damage is gonna go for some setup. Gonna go for top damage. Trying to get some slows into OP. Does have a trinket for like tanks that deals nature damage over time. There's gonna be a blind coming out of it with a trinket. Gonna go for some damage right now. As OP Sap is taken actually a little bit. Could go for a Kidney Shot. Does land one. Does top damage of Lichborn? No. He's gonna actually just have to take the dot damage and that slow from the rogue. He's gonna have to run around for it. Maybe he has Death's Advance. Is it just advanced to him? Looks like OP Sap couldn't quite catch a re-stell. Gonna get those dots rolling. Those dots do last quite long. Onto OP, as long as top damage makes sure to refresh himself. OP Sap does have advantage if needed. It's gonna be Kidney Shot. Getting stunned up by top damage on his AoE. That's gonna be top damage. Continue to top the damage into OP. Vanish coming out for the rogue. Top damage has cooldowns rolling right now with that. What is it? Pillar of Frost has a cooldown that I haven't seen in a while. He's going to use his mobility to try to get to the rogue. Does have the dots on him. Trying to line him around in the corner. Wishes he had Death and Decay now. Could have dropped Death and Decay on one side. OP Sap is just going to kite him around completely. He's going to come out of stealth right now. No, looks like he waited out those dots completely. So top damage is out in the open. 10% dampening rolling in. And OP Sap needs to make a play right now. Cloak of Shadows is the only defensive. Top damage is going to have to go lay down. OP Sap is going to try to go for some food again. I don't think top damage is going to let him. Nope, not going to let him. Going to get hit with a cheap shot by the rogue. Going to Lichborn out of it as the rogue comes out. Top damage needs to keep this rogue out here in the open. That Lichborn is not going to let him move around fast at all, though. That's going to be really, really bad for him for a while. Does get dots into OP Sap, though, for a while. He's getting some auto attacks, too. Making sure to refresh the dots. Stun coming out onto the rogue. Going to go for some damage with that Pillar of Frost. I'm going to keep remembering what Pillar of Frost is every time, boys. I'm so sorry. It's going to be trinkets coming out, AMS coming in onto the rogue's damage. That's going to be OP Sap taking a boatload of damage from top damage for a while, though. That is also going to be... That is awesome. Going to be a powered rune weapon. OP Sap is going to be able to land a cloak off of all that. Top damage still trying to catch up to this rogue. Eventually, he'll make his way over there. That's going to be cheap shot by the rogue as he is not able to get a full reset. I guess the dots are there for a while. It's going to get a slow into OP. Maybe he can run after him. He is going to be able to, as the dots wear off, going to get a few melee swings around the corner. Smoke bomb coming out. OP is trying to, I guess, shadow step him or maybe move around him. Kidney Shot coming down top damage. Very, very short. That's going to be Lichborn out of this. Trinket out of the blind as well. Continue to pummel damage into the rogue. The rogue doesn't have a single defensive. If you're going to stick around with him, Vantage does come out. The top damage needs to find the rogue immediately. Might just want to even mount up. Is going to use a lock Hellstone right now. 21% dampening. Sees OP Sap. Just might want to mount up. Mounting up might be the way to go. Is going to mount up right now after the rogue. Doesn't want to get sapped though. Is going to get hit with a cheap shot. Still mounted up though. OP Sap might be able to catch a reset. No, could still hit him with a dot. Does redot him. Grip coming out right now into a Chain of Ice. Can get a little bit more damage. Kidney Shot coming down. OP Sap barely. Oh, Void Elf racials himself way out there, but a stun is what's going to catch him regardless. I think it's a non-DR stun too, because he did get hit with a stun earlier. OP Sap still taking a bunch of damage, and I think top damage is going to end up taking him out. Top ended up taking him out. Next up is Cinderella. 25% dampening. Does top have anything to deal with? The Feral is going to get an early stun onto the kitty cat. Trying to get some damage rolling right now. Doesn't have the big cooldowns yet. Thorns is up and running. Does have AMS if necessary. Is going to AMS as he gets rooted with the Feral. Continue to use Chain of Ice as much as he can. Deathpack coming out pretty early though. Needs to wait out for his health while he's necrotic down. This is where Cinderella I think is going to commit some damage. Transfusions are coming out for top damage. Does he have the resources though? Doesn't have the resources quite yet. Needs to get some resources off Cinderella, but the dots are ticking down on him. Is going to go for a lock Hellstone right after that as well. It's going to be an opener by Cinderella. Top damage is no way out of this for now. Double badge, double stun coming out onto the DK. Is going to go for Empower Rune weapon. But that's going to be still a lot of damage coming out to this bad boy, though. Has all the damage rolling. Needs to connect with a Feral. Can't quite do it. Has the resource. Wants to get a single Death Strike in. But Cinderella is not going to allow for it at all. Even if it's a Frost Death Knight, not going to let it happen. Come on, dude. He's a little Frost DK. You can't be doing that. They're not even that spooky, man. Gonna get opened up on, no way out of it, and down he goes. Seavark is going up next. Try to get some crits onto Cinderella. Is gonna chuck a Pyroblast in there pretty quickly. Cinderella is gonna go around. Stealing Cat from Blinks around, coming in for Seavark back to back. Needs to get a setup onto Cinderella. I think he dropped a Meteor or Flame Strike next to him. Cinderella is getting in. Gonna get some bleeds onto Seavark. Incarn time! It's Incarn time! There's gonna be a Ring of Frost. Gonna land. Gridgy Pyro try to come out. Cinderella has no way of dealing with this right now. That's gonna be Seavark. Gonna get himself a temporal rolling. Cinderella's continuing to get big bites into Seavark. Kicked him on something. Iceball coming in pretty early. It's gonna be temporal, getting himself back a lot. Gonna check one Pyro into Cinderella right after. So Seavark has Cinderella in a good spot. No trinket. Seavark has a trinket. Breath into a freeze, into a big burst with everything on it. Everything on it. This is his moment right now. Gonna get stunned up. Trinkets out of it. Root coming in. Meteor coming down. Gonna force Cinderella out of the Mallet trinket to fall as well. Looks like Cinderella is just gonna open up with bleeds. Wants to make sure all the hots are rolling. Could go for a breath right now. Is gonna land a breath. No, doesn't land enough breath to, like, the breath broke. Is trying to get himself a Ring of Frost. Does have a temporal at least. So at least there's that one advantage. Temporal is going to be coming out immediately, but Cinderella wants to get some big bites, and a big bite coming out of the end there. Trying to get the Ring of Frost in on this Feral. Blinking around again. Has a fair amount of health still. Getting hit with a rake again. Breath coming out. Is that going to be Ring? Ring hits, but the Feral is in the middle of all this. Not going to get frozen. Wall coming out right now. Pre-walling all his damage. Is he going to be in a good spot? He's looking a little bit afraid right now, but that's going to be great Pyro with all the crits in the world. Cinderella is going to take all the damage. Wall coming out. It's going to be big damage by Seavark. Let's see if he can tap any more damage off of the Scorch coming out, but he's going to get kicked on him. Going to get a freeze onto Cinderella. Can he continue getting some crits off him? Does get another proc going. Maybe he can get more insta-cast rolling. That's Pyro. And that's going to be a bite to end them right there. I want to see top damage play again. I want to have top damage go first, boys. Honestly. I want to see top damage get a chance at it again. What's your top damage, actually? Frost Fever? Ooh. Oh my god, it's actually doing a fair amount. Obliterates, Death Strikes, which is normal.